What is going on, guys? It is CW Gaming, and I am back with another video. And in today's episode, we are going to be testing what the Texas Longhorns would do in the SEC. If you've been around the news lately, you'd see Oklahoma and Texas trying to jump ship from the Big 12 into the SEC. And there's been a lot of questions about how they would do. How would they be able to recruit well with all of these powerhouse schools? And that's what we're going to test today. And the first time, we're going to go with Texas. We've also got Oklahoma over here as well in the SEC, and we'll see what they do without us controlling them. So the rules for today, we're going to go 3 seasons, and we're going to sim, recruit a little bit, and see what happens. We're not going to touch it very much, but we're just going to see what Texas can do. So we're going to go ahead and hop into this and see how Texas will survive in the SEC. Alright, so here's our schedule this year. We've got A+ schedule thanks to the SEC. Texas is in the West, but we're leading off with Eastern, SEC, Missouri. We've got Auburn, Ole Miss, Arkansas, which is an old rivalry game, so I am kind of excited about that, to get that rivalry back. Then we have LSU, Iowa State as a non-conference game. We've got Oklahoma, the Red River, we have to have that. We've got Kansas State, TCU, Mississippi State, A&M, Alabama. So this is a tough schedule. Looks like they're still wanting us to play some Big 12 schools. And I think this is a good way to show that Texas is here to stay in the SEC by playing a little bit of both schedules. So let's see how it turns out. Alright, so we are mid-season. It's week 8. We're 5-2 so far. We're ranked 16th. I just wanted to check in and see how we were doing and show the overall. We were a 90 overall with an 88 defense with a 91 offense. So if we're going to win in the SEC, we need to fix our defense. An 88 is not going to win us football games in this conference. So a lot of our recruiting has been focused on defense. And I will show the recruiting class at the end of the video, or at the end of the season, I mean. So 5-2, let's see how we will finish off year number 1 in the SEC. Alright, and we're at the end of the season, and you can see our recruiting class has shaped up to be pretty good. We got some defense guys, we're in some battles with a couple of schools, but it should be fine. We've got a lot of good recruits so far. So let's see how the end of the season kind of went for us in our first year. Alright, so we are back. And you can see we finished 3rd in the SEC West. Alabama's 10-2, Auburn's 8-4. We are 9-3, tied with Texas A&M. So let's go ahead and take a look at how we did this season. We beat Missouri 52-7. We then lost to Auburn 34-10. Beat Ole Miss. We beat Arkansas in that game. We came back to beat LSU. We beat Iowa State by 4. Then we lost to Oklahoma in overtime. They are now SEC East, so it was a conference game. We beat Kansas State. We beat TCU. So we went 3-0 in the Big 12 games that were scheduled for the season. So it just goes to show you that Texas was ready to leave that conference. And we went on to beat Mississippi State. We beat A&M by 10. Then we lost to Bama 14-19, and I do believe we would have won the West if we would have won this game. They were 10-2, we were 9-3, so it would have been tied for first place. So that was a game that we definitely needed to win, but we ended up losing it. So there's always next year. We do have an opportunity to get better. We got a couple seasons left, so let's take a look at the stats. So Sam Ehlinger finished with 2,200 yards, 31 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. So I figured he would throw a lot more interceptions than this in the SEC, but he didn't. He actually ended up with 31 touchdowns and some pretty good yardage. It's going to be sad to see him go. We're going to have to rebuild the team as well, finding a new quarterback, so it's going to be tough. It could affect our results as well. Ingram, our junior running back, with 1,000 yards, 9 touchdowns. Receiving, we had Brennan Eagles with 12 touchdowns, and Joshua Moore with 6. Nobody in the 1,000-yard club, but Eagles was close. Maybe he'll get it next year. And on the defensive side, we did have 65 tackles from 2 of our linebackers. And let's see on interceptions. So we had 3 interceptions from a safety, 3 from a corner who's a redshirt freshman, so that's good to see, and 2 from a strong safety. So our defense, it didn't look like they played great. They definitely gonna have to improve in the SEC, but 65-65, it's not bad. So we get the PlayStation Fiesta Bowl against number 8 Louisville, who is 11-1. I believe they're still in the American Conference in this game. So let's see how this turns out. This is our first chance to prove ourselves that we are indeed back as a team, as a football program. So on to the Fiesta PlayStation Bowl. So Texas is back. We won the Fiesta Bowl. It is the first step towards SEC takeover, so to speak. I'm excited to see what they do for the rest of the simulation. But to start it off, we do have a Fiesta Bowl game win. Alright, so at the end of year 1, we do have a top 10 class. We have the number 9 class. We've got Florida, A&M, Auburn, Alabama, and the SEC that are up here with us. We only signed 16 recruits. We've got 2 5-stars, 8 4-stars, and 6 3-stars. So we didn't sign a lot, but I'm hoping the quality of our class does help. And this is the big question about Texas moving to the SEC. How is recruiting going to affect them? Are they going to be able to split those recruits? Is it going to be tough for them to battle other SEC schools? Or will it help them being in a better conference? So far, it has helped them a little bit, and we are the number 9 class. But defense was one of the biggest things that we wanted to focus on. We went defense heavy and we weren't able to pull it out. We've got a couple of safeties and some linebackers, but it's going to take a valiant effort over the next couple years to build up Texas's defense in order to survive in the SEC. So here is our schedule for season number 2. We're kicking it off with Missouri once again. We got Arkansas, Alabama, LSU, Auburn. So that's going to be a tough 4-game stretch there, with 3 of those being away. We're playing Alabama at home this year. So that's going to be a tough stretch to get through, but that's life in this conference. We then got North Texas. We've got Kentucky, TCU, Mississippi State, BYU, and A&M and Ole Miss. So still, we've got a pretty good little conference schedule here. And we'll see how it goes for us in year number 2. Alright, we are mid-season right now. We are 6-0, number 2 in the nation. So we've got a good thing going for us right now. And let's see what happens at the end of the season. Alright, we are back at the end of the year number 2. And you do see we are ranked number 5 in the nation at 10-2, playing the Florida Gators in the SEC Championship, us representing the West, Florida on the East. So that does mean that Texas was able to do something in the SEC. We won the West. Now it's time to show that we are the best team in the SEC. This is the whole point of them moving to the conference. And we have an opportunity to do that in the second season. So let's see what the schedule and the stats look like. So here we go. We tied with Arkansas at 10-2, 7-2 in the conference. And I'm kind of shocked. They finished 5-2, so it looks like they lost another division game. I'm not sure exactly, but we are number 1 in the West. Alabama's at 3rd, Texas A&M at 4th, LSU, Auburn, and then the list goes on. So let's see how we ended up. So we beat Missouri again. Okay, that's how we beat Arkansas week 2. We beat Bama 33-17 this year, and we beat LSU, Auburn, and OT. So we got revenge on them. We beat North Texas. We lost to Kentucky in overtime. We beat TCU, Mississippi State, BYU. We lost to A&M and beat Ole Miss. So our 2 losses were A&M and Kentucky. So we do still have a shot at the SEC overall and the national championship. So let's go check these stats. Alright, so Hudson Card, looks like he came in mid-season, got 300 yards, 6 touchdowns, 1 interception. We've got Casey Thompson, our now starter, with 1,800 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions. So I'm not sure if there was an injury or the computer just switched him. I'm not sure what happened. But QB play is not good. We did switch our playbook back to a pro style, so the scrambling does need some time to kind of figure it out. Well, we're still 5th overall and have a shot at the SEC. So with the quarterback situation, it does look like it is playing out pretty well. We were carried by Keontae Ingram with 1,200 yards, 14 touchdowns. In our receiving, we had nowhere close to 1,000 yards. We had Marcus Washington at 500. Last year we had an 800-yard reception leader, but this year it is 501, so there wasn't a lot of passing yards to go around. And defense was weak as well, 68 tackles and 52 being second. So let's take a look at the interceptions. We've got 3 interceptions, and then it goes 2, 2, 2, 1. So defense still not playing great, but it wasn't even an improvement really. It got a little worse, but somehow we're still at the top of the conference. So Corso is going with Florida this year to take the SEC. I'm not sure if he's just trying to prove that the SEC is Florida and doesn't need Texas and Oklahoma, or if he truly thinks Florida, sitting at total offense 39, is going to be able to beat us. They have a good defense though, so it looks like they will be able to beat us in stats, but we have to come out and prove. We have a lot to prove this game.
Everybody, Reese Davis with you, bringing you the EA Sports NCAA Football 14 pregame show presented by Nissan. Innovation that excites. A nice easy pace of warm-ups. Over. Better buckle those chin straps. SEC action about to start. That's going to do it for us. Thanks for checking out the pregame show. NCAA college football action coming right at you. Brad and Kirk on the call. David and I are back at halftime.
It's time for the coin toss now, presented by Coke Zero. Real Coke taste, 0 calories. Enjoy everything.
All right, here we go. We're going to go ahead and sim until the 4th quarter and see what happens. First quarter, we get the ball first. We're going to drive down and score. Florida does match us at 7. So here we go. Florida gets the ball back. They go up, and Florida is up 14-7. We're going to go ahead to the next quarter. So quarter number 2. We are driving down. It looks like we do score. The game is tied right before half. We couldn't score, but we do score right there, right at the end. So we're up 21-14. We're trading blows with Florida. Let's see what happens at the end of the 3rd. This is where we could win the game. Florida gets a field goal. We need to score here. We get a field goal, and Florida could tie it. If they kick a field goal, we have 5 minutes. So 5 minutes to go. I'm going to jump in, play this possession. All right, here we go. 5 minutes to go. Start of the 4th quarter. We got a receiver open. That's Washington. He's going to go down for the first down in the red zone. All right, 1st and 10. We're going to try our little sneaky tight end play here. Looks like they bit on it. Tight end catch the ball. That's Epps for a touchdown. 15 yards. and we're going to go up 31-20 with 4 minutes to go. So here we go. Texas puts up another field goal, 34-20. It is Texas's ball, 34-27. It looks like it may do it. It is 3rd and inches. I'm going to hop in, run the ball on 3rd and inches. Florida gets the ball back. They could score and win the game. So here we go. For the game, Ingram's going to grab the first down, and that should do it for our first SEC championship. All right, so back on the field after a 3rd and 11. Texas and Thompson kneel the ball down, and Texas takes their first SEC championship in the 2nd year that they have moved into the conference. This is exactly what they wanted to prove, that they were the best team in the conference and that they could come over, recruit well, and take control over the best conference in college football.
Seemed to want it more as the game went on, and that's because they have such a great head coach. He's kept them focused all year, and it's paid off as they are now the champs of the SEC.
For Texas, they'll notch their 11th win.
So the trophy presentation. It's weird to see Texas holding the SEC championship, but it is happening, and this could be the future of Texas football coming over from the Big 12. And this kind of proves our point. So here we go. We're going to see what takes on for the rest of the season, but we did prove our point about Texas joining the conference. So here we go. At the end of year number 2, we did lose in the sim to Miami, 41-20. It was a bad loss for Texas in their SEC championship run. It looks like 127 yards with a touchdown for our quarterback. Running back Ingram was shut down with 91 yards. So that probably had a little bit to do with it. Our defense doesn't like they were able to stop anybody, and we did lose. But it was a productive season. We proved what we needed to prove, being that we are capable of winning in the SEC. So that's going to do it for this simulation. We're only going to do 2 seasons. I just wanted to see how quick it would be until Texas was able to win the SEC championship. And they did it in year number 2 without much of the recruited players. We had a good class. We have a good one now coming in at the end of this season. So I think it only goes up for Texas here. And I do think that when they move into the conference, they would have a good shot at getting top recruits now that they're in a good conference. It would just be up from here for Texas, and I think if we gave it a couple more seasons on the sim, they might actually would win a national championship as well. So in 2 seasons, we won a bowl game, we won the SEC championship, and we had a national football championship appearance. So that's going to do it for this rebuild / simulation. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to see Oklahoma, what they would do, or if you want to see other Big 12 teams move into other conferences and see how that conference would turn out, or just different teams in general, let me know. And I will see you guys later.